But with that, let's go ahead and get started. So when last we left off, the Color Coalition had unfortunately lost a member during a fight with the growing power of this entity of death and pain known as Vesh, and her avatar in Tal'Dorei, Meraxis. Having lost the member Raritor in the final battle and having been evicted from the mountain of Gatshadow, the Color Coalition then made their way to Amon and learned that the city of Western had been taken over by the army of the undead and servants of Vesh. Rallying some of your allies and managing to convince the council to send its army to Western and liberate the city, you have since mounted a rescue effort, cutting your way through the country in an attempt to try and liberate this before everything gets too desperate in that location. Taking a little bit of a detour at one point to go rescue Laud after she went on a walk in the forest and somehow ended up in a crystal.
I'm back.
What?
Yeah, you weren't here for the one shot, but so catch you up. You went on just camp one night. You went on a walk through the woods, and you were approached by, if you remember, Hinkle the mage, the little goblin with the funny wands.
Oh, that looks like Vivi from Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He approached you needing help with something, and you agreed. And then the next thing you know, you were being woken up on the way back to camp.
Okay.
They told you later that you apparently had been kidnapped and were having something of your life essence drawn out to make a blue light crystal.
Oh my
Which
goodness.
not, and according to what Hinkle had said, it wasn't going to kill you, but it didn't. They didn't seem to believe him, so they attacked. Anyway, after having dealt with some more of those wands and everything, you've managed to collect with the army once again and made your way crossing the river into the eastern half of Tal'Dorei. You are now 2 days out from the city itself, and that's where we're going to pick up. You guys are now setting camp, being told that you are 2 days away from Western. Color Coalition, what would you like to do?
I forget that thing that I rolled for forever ago. Did
Yes.
that ever get?
You still
Did that
haven't
ever-
seen any sign. You still haven't seen any sign.
Okay.
Well, it's only 2 nights to Western.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how are the troops looking? Do they seem a little bit more ready than at
Roll an
first, or-
insight check. First roll of the night.
Ooh.
No pressure.
It's fucking... Yeah, not at all. Especially in this fucking system that hates me. I don't know what is it with the roll 20, but
Oh, it's all right. I rolled 2 natural ones on Saturday, so in a row.
I didn't roll above fucking 10.
You balanced me out, I
take
guess.
the cake.
I had
bad
to balance
rolls.
you out. Yeah. Okay. To be fair, you had. Well, there's the first roll. It's really good.
yep.
I had 2 nat 20s
Told
in a
you.
row, and then immediately following, I had 2 nat 1s.
You know,
And
to
then you had
balance it
another
out,
natural
we
20.
should all get like a reroll per night or something.
Yeah. We'll see about that. We will see about that. As best you can tell, because you've been spending a lot of time forging some, blunt weapons and things like that, and trying to prepare the troops with armor instead of morale. They seem good to go. They're fine.
That's great. That's just
Yeah,
wonderful.
they're ready. They're as pumped as you are for this fight.
Okay. That's good news. Okay, so I think all I have to do left is pray to the old hammer and hope that he finds us worthy of a victory in this mission.
All right. You go ahead and say your prayers for the night.
Ari's not really doing much.
Okay, just chilling.
Just chilling.
Laud, Felon.
Fella's just looking
I'm
around.
still trying to understand why I was kidnapped. Why they want my essence? Because I am a Genasi?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's why I was trying to understand. I was like, why? I'm blue. I know. Blue crystal. Okay. But why?
You're blue, double deep, double die.
Damn
For
it.
the record, no one ever asked Hinkle about any of that, and he may very well have said that.
Did I get anything else stolen or something like that?
Go ahead and roll an
Mhm.
Arcana check. Let's do that.
Arcana.
Yeah, this would fit into Arcana based on what happened to you. Natural
Ooh.
20. From what you felt that night and the nights since that, it doesn't feel like anything was permanently stolen from you.
Okay.
You did feel that first night a little weaker, as if something had been drained from you a little bit. You didn't feel like you were on the cusp of death or anything like that. But since it's been a couple days since this incident, and you feel right as rain since then. So whatever was taken from you, or whatever was in the process of being taken from you, has clearly worn off.
Okay. For now, I'm just gonna prepare a lot of good berries with a special touch.
Ooh.
Wondering if those actually last longer than a little bit. I don't know nearly enough about good berries. Okay, so they lose their
24 hours.
potency within 24 hours. So yeah, you can make as many good berries as you want, and here in the next 24 hours they'll wear off. But
Okay, no, it's. I know that they don't heal much, but they make people feel better, so they heal.
yeah, and there's a few people that you kind of judge to be needing them.
Okay.
So you go around and just kind of hand them out, trying to raise the morale. Forno doesn't understand because he thinks that everyone's perfect and ready for this fight. But
Yep.
yeah, you being a little more insightful, you kind of pick up on the mood of the camp. While they're ready to do this, there's a lot of them that are a little unsure, being forced to face down an army of the undead. So, but the good berries, those that take them, seem to lift their spirits a little bit, as well as the whiskey that's getting passed around,
Yeah.
which Ari is very well aware of.
Yes. I feel like she'll drink it whenever it gets passed around.
And you do. And certain camaraderie starts forming. It's been almost a month since you guys set out from Amon and been traversing this. You guys picked up a few more troops in Kaimel and kind of set up a few little way stations as like fallback points in case the worst happens. But you've kind of built up this camaraderie. There were people that didn't really want to approach you at the beginning because you seemed so far removed from everything. I mean, you guys were, champions of the Gods Brawl arena, having slain a dragon in front of everyone. And you guys were now at the forefront of this whole conflict. So there was that little bit of like, they may be larger than life a little bit, but having been marching with the troops and trying to prepare them for all of this, they've gotten to know you a little bit more, and they're a little more comfortable around you. So there's that certain feeling of, we're all in this together.
That was the idea.
Felon, anything in particular you're doing?
Nope, just taking in the scenery and just keeping an eye on everything, watching people, watching how they're feeling, watching their mood, just watching everything, keeping a strict eye on just everything.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
This will be good.
Yeah, let's see if those there you see, that's not a bad roll.
Yeah, I'm using them all up now.
You've never really been in like a military setting like this before, so it's a little out of your element, but you're taking in as much as you can, watching everything. Everything seems really organized, which to you, it makes sense because you're, based on your background, you have that kind of sense of organization and structure, but with the class, it's always been a lot more loose and, if you can get away with it, do it. Whereas the military, it's a lot stricter, actually. So it's kind of weird seeing all these people that are just following their orders to the letter of them. And a lot of them, you talk with a few of them, some of the stragglers and stuff, and there are people that don't want to be there and fight this, but they're still there.
Makes sense.
Yeah. As the camp starts relaxing and pickets are set out and everything to keep watch, everyone starts kind of winding down, getting ready to bunk in for the night. Other than those keeping watch, eventually Dante comes up to you guys. So it's getting close.
It
And
is.
so,
Think you're prepared?
Nope, but we're gonna have to be.
Well, care to
I mean,
have
at
a
least
little-
not me personally.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And if you
Um,
wait until you feel that you're ready for anything, you wouldn't never end up doing anything, to be honest.
Better words have never been spoken. If you wait for the best opportunity, you'll miss the best opportunity you're going to get. Care for a little war council then?
Yeah, sure.
All right. We have new reports, so let's go.
Oh.
And he just kind of starts heading towards over where like the command area has kind of been set up. It's mainly just where those of the council that have shown up have been heading out there to prepare everything. Because not the entire council didn't set out from this. Obviously, there's more domestic stuff that some of them deal with that needed to be taken care of instead. But Seeker Corilla did come with you, as well as Dante and a few others. So, but they've set it up as kind of a little command area off to the side, and Dante starts heading that way.
Ari hurries and follows.
Anyone else?
Oh, I'm going.
Probably stumbles once.
No, of course I'm going.
He leads you into one of the larger tents, which contains the Master of Defense, Guardian Bear Brandt, big mercenary-looking human. Blaze is there in kind of an unofficial capacity, kind of standing off. He's kind of set himself away from the table itself so that he doesn't seem like he's really a part of the planning, but he can still chime in, which seems to fit with his attitude towards everything. Dante is there, and like I said, Seeker Corilla, the Kenku female, she's kind of standing up on a stool so she has this large map of Western and the area around it with different markings on it, and they've left enough space for you to come up and take a look at everything. Brant just kind of looks at you and goes, well, I think it's about time we...
But tell me what?
Oh, he's
Great.
not coming through again.
Corey!
Corey.
I see him trying to talk, but nothing's coming through.
No.
Yeah.
It's like his internet's messing
Do you
up.
think?
Stop downloading.
Do you think is the internet or just Discord? I have the same problem with Guille sometimes.
Yeah, no, but
Sure.
it's not. It's never this long. It's just like one phrase or two, and then comes
Mhm.
back.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, Saturday he was cutting in and out really, really bad throughout like a good hour of the session we
Maybe
had.
it's. Yeah, maybe it's the connection to his new place.
Well, he was also downloading a game in the background and installing it, so it was lagging his computer a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think his internet hates him.
Mm.
Yeah, restart Discord. Maybe.
Restart the whole computer. Maybe.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. That'd take too long.
Poor Corey.
Let's just be patient.
Yep.
Oh, I was telling you that I went to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium
Uh-huh.
to watch Atlanta United play soccer. And
Yeah, that
see, it's
sounds
Discord.
cool.
Yeah, and I was like in the how do you say barras bravas, Guille?
You mean the what's it called?
Like the
Team-
hooligans, but from them, the
Yeah,
good. It's
The what?
it's The
hooligans, but
hooligans.
you know but not in the bad sense.
Like the silly
Team
sense?
supporters.
The fans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fans, but like the biggest fans that have
Oh,
Those that are
oh, oh, oh.
organized.
I see. Okay.
I was like-
Almost like a loud crowd.
yeah, that.
Cool.
It was so fun. And when they get one score, one goal, they just showered us in beer. And I was like, oh my god, my glasses, no, my glasses.
Oh man.
It was really fun.
And
Sounds
it was
really
funny
fun.
because all the all the crowd shouts, so the loud cries, they were in Spanish.
You were in Spanish.
That's cool.
Because
Where did Glory come
they
from?
like extract them from Argentina and supporters, soccer supporters,
Yeah, the cries.
and
Mm.
and everything was like it was funny because it was Spanish, but Spanish from Argentina. So people that is not a person that is not a Spanish speaker trying to speak Spanish, but from Argentina sounds really really fun.
That's funny.
Everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, Discord, I don't know what the hell it is, but the Discord app just does not like me anymore.
Maybe in a day or two, try uninstalling completely and reinstalling it.
I kind of need to.
It would
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Okay, so where did I cut out?
Kyria, and she was like in a stool.
Okay, yeah, Seeker Corilla is kind of standing on a stool over a large map with different icons and stuff, different markings on it. You kind of get as you're moved closer at this table for you guys. The map is very clearly a map of Western, which you're there.
Oh. Right.
And you can clearly see on there if you look around. I didn't change the colors or anything, but they're there. She has indicated on there where different boxed lines in the ground, almost like gateways, literally onto the map of Western itself.
Mm-hmm.
Brant just kind of looks at you guys and goes, "Perfect timing. I think it's about time we figure out our strategy for the next couple days, right?"
Correct.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it, and we've had Corilla and her scouts head out there to up. Best we can tell, currently 5 portals within the city. Each of these portals is acting as both a kind of buffer for the powers in this area, as well as anchors for this force field, this anti-magic field, as well as acting as gateways to allow Vesh's forces and the undead straight into the city.
Okay. Huh. Hey, wasn't the Margrave Mansion where we started, Western?
The Margrave Mansion was... You've never been to the Margrave's Mansion. You've gone by it a couple times.
Wasn't there that we found like the vampire thingy?
No, that was in the building right next to it, the Hall of Reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just
That
seems
one.
about right.
Best we can tell, there's going to be 2 strategies going forward with this, based on what you've told us about what we've noticed that they're capable of from our scouts, as well as what you've told us about what's going on up in Gatshadow. First option is we focus everything we have, you included, portals. It'll probably mean an easier fight all around, but if there is something going on up in Gatshadow, what if we'll make it in time to stop that, or if there's anything we can even do to prevent what's going on up there. Our scouts are still saying that there's some forces moving in between Western and Gatshadow. It appears that Meraxis might still be using that as his base of operations. That's option 1. Option 2, big team, you head to Gatshadow, you end this once and for all, while we focus on taking down the portals.
Well, from what we saw, it's the portals, the ones that feed Meraxis with his powers. So
Yeah.
I was
once we
gonna say
cut
this.
his power sources, it's a better attrition war than just like marching in head first.
Well, here's the thing with that. Like I said, there's more lights coming from Gatshadow. From what you even said, there was already a portal in Gatshadow itself, the main portal. There's going to be at least one portal making sure that he has some kind of strength. And what our scouts have been saying, that light coming from Gatshadow is a lot stronger than the light coming from Western.
Oh, okay.
But if we focus on taking out Western, taking out these portals there, that means there's going to be a lot less resistance heading up into Gatshadow for you. All you'll have to focus on is taking out Meraxis.
Mm.
This time, it sounds like you're prepared for it at least, right? You're expecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As ready as can
Maybe
be.
it's maybe they're baiting us into the big one.
We've talked with Morn a little bit. He's been running a little bit of the resistance around here, and based on what he's saying and what he's told me, what he knows about Meraxis, he'll probably want you to fight in the city. Focus on taking out all of his troops, weakening you guys and weakening him in the process, but mostly slowing you guys down. Trish, and he knows he has more forces than us. Bringing more forces in if he needs to.
So some of us need to go for Gatshadow instead.
Maybe. If we go, the downside to that option is that take out the portals. We'll probably lose some more men, but someone's going to have to make the call on. You guys have fought Meraxis before. You have a better idea of what he's capable of than we do. We're going to leave the call up to you.
He's capable of horrible things.
You've said.
It's an easier fight for us, but tougher for the men. Or easier for the men and tougher for us. Right?
But basically, we'll boil down to. There's no telling if whatever he's doing up in Gatshadow will be affected by any of this. If he has more time to do it.
Well, from what I saw, these men, they seem to be ready for a tougher fight. I've trained them, I've given them weapons, armor, and as best strategy as I could to how to deal without magic for some people that, well, used to be people, undead.
They're well trained, and now, thanks to you, they're well equipped.
Exactly. I think they can handle
for
it.
that first fight of going up against a zombie.
I feel like we need to just cut off the snake's head, so to speak.
Agreed. Lad, Felon?
I agree. Going for the head is probably should be our priority while everybody else is working on the portals. To me, that sounds like the best option.
Sounds like a majority vote then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Odds shine down upon us. So, starting tomorrow, we'll have the men start setting up to assault the city itself. You and your little strike team will be heading straight for Gatshadow, bypassing the city entirely and bypassing the anti-magic field around it.
Okay.
And
well, who's the Master of Spies? It's Kiri, right? Master Kiri, if I may. Then I just call her to the one side. Recently we have the help of a pretty good fighter called William. But I want to know. I'm like, be sure that he's not going to betray us. Can you gather a little bit of intel just in case?
Looks at you a little strangely. Says she would know how to say anything about William. Kind of like coos a little bit at you and just shakes your head a little bit. I'm not good at bird noises. I can barely do the metagaming pigeon, let's be honest. Get the general sense that she doesn't seem to think there's anything to look into about him.
Okay.
Up and up, at least.
Very well. Okay, then may the old hammer and all the gods be on our side. Because it's going to take all
the gods be on our side. Nods after saying that.
That was brilliant. Oh, thank you. Just okay. This is Guillermo speaking. Like, how awesome is it that Kiri now speaks porno? All right.
I had to look at Kenku ages just to make sure she'd be alive still.
Yeah, but I mean, adventures usually, get a little bit longer lifespans or shorter.
Oh, sometimes shorter. Yeah.
Mostly shorter.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't like die on the lower levels, usually just like get some potions and magic stuff that prolong your life altogether.
With that, Blaze, Kiri, and Bear Brant conversation as far as like getting tactics ready for the military itself. Dante kind of pulls you guys over to the side, goes, so it sounds like you four and William will be heading out to Gatshadow then.
That sounds
That's
like
correct. Will you be coming with us?
I was going to ask if you wanted me to go as well, if you thought it was best he joined us or you guys instead of heading out with the army. But
yeah, I mean,
at this point,
basically, without the snake's head, the troops should be a little bit easier to get. And I've trained them well.
Believe me, I agree with you on that. Sounds like this Meraxis is a piece of work, so best to kill him early.
Yeah, he is.
He's a piece of something, but I wouldn't say work.
Everybody has to do work to make shit.
Not wrong.
He's got a point.
True.
They usually do. But I leave it up to you guys. If you think that me and Blaze are better served helping out the army or heading out with you.
Blaze with the army, but you with us. We need all the magic we can get our hands on. And
we do need a lot of magic.
We don't have, like, Arcana? Arcane?
Arcane art.
Kind of magic. Yeah. We don't have that.
Yeah.
We need that.
Let Blaze know. And he just kind of walks off real quick to go whisper something in Blaze's ear. Blaze just kind of looks at him as he says this and just goes, "The fuck I am? Go, no. I'm coming with. It's all right."
Okay, you can come.
Okay.
That was easy.
And he kind of walks back. Yeah, well, that was... Should have probably guessed that, but... well, as a team, so it makes sense to keep us together.
Makes sense.
That's true. Okay, what about Morn?
Morn is out, still running the resistance. He's going to actually be the army's point of contact whenever we start getting set up. Hopefully to link up with the resistance group in there.
Yeah. Besides, he's quite dangerous. I've seen him do some real mean stuff to some real mean dudes.
He seems like a tough fellow.
And I'm reminded of the guy that he just like slaughtered. He gutted like him like a fish. And
yeah, no, he definitely Yeah, it was not much of a a fight.
No.
He basically just hacked and then eventually beheaded him with a halberd.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. What his name was.
Pieces, sounds like.
Well, okay.
Anyway, best you guys get some rest for tomorrow. We have a big trip ahead of us now.
We do.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Check his spells.
Tomorrow morning, then. Dante starts heading off towards his tent as you guys start heading back towards yours.
See you, Dante.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
See ya. Okay.
You guys head back towards your little campsite area. As you get there, you find that Will, in his black armor, black cloak, and gruff demeanor, is sitting there just enjoying a nice little bottle of whiskey by himself. So what's the plan?
I'm sorry, who?
Will Deluxem, your mercenary.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
What's the plan?
Heading for Gatshadow in the morning.
Okay. Straight up, like the sound of it.
Yep.
Very much. That's the idea. And besides, I've seen that you are a pretty capable fighter. But be careful. He has some tricks up his sleeve.
You don't last long. Tricks up my sleeve a little bit.
That's what I saw.
Roll a perception check real quick. Let's see if you see this. Passive's high enough, so.
23, that's not too bad.
3. As he says that he has a few tricks up his sleeves, you watch as just the faintest shimmer across his face. Almost like his face was trying to change shape a little bit.
Ooh, okay.
Or you did see this as well.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
You saw it. Fucking eagle eye.
Rangers, man.
William? I know that we can trust you, but is there anything that you want to say to us, like, as in your nature, that we don't know and might come in handy?
Ari just chuckles.
Kind of cocks an eyebrow. Are you trying to learn more about me?
Yes.
There's nothing you need to know about me other than I kill stuff and I'm really good at it.
As long as you kill this stuff that we to be killed and not, like innocent.
Oh, you're worried I'm gonna start just murdering everybody, you included.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Okay.
I love Fordo's honesty.
Ari's just like, oh, Fordo.
Why would he kill and attack the people that are paying him?
Exactly.
There you go.
You paid me for a job. I'm gonna do the job. I have a reputation to uphold anyway.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't look good on his resume.
No, it really doesn't. Word gets around.
Yeah.
Nobody likes hiring mercs that kill innocent people and don't get paid to do it.
Agreed.
Good.
If you wanted me to kill some innocents and you're willing to fork over some coin for that, that's a different story.
Oh, definitely. That's not.
Noted. I'll keep that in mind next time I need innocents murdered.
Please do. I do good work. He finishes off the rest of the bottle and just chucks it in the fire. Kind of goes up with a bit of a whoosh. The alcohol in the glass just ignites a little bit. Gets up, goes in the morning.
Yep.
Night.
And walks off into the trees somewhere. Doesn't look like he has an actual camp anywhere. Just walks away. Now it's just the four of you at your little camp.
Ari's gonna curl up and be like, well, I'm gonna get as much sleep as I can. So.
Right.
Anything else anyone wants to do before bed then?
Yeah, I'm thinking of...
Nope.
Nothing I can think of.
Well, since no one's saying anything that they have to do, you
I'm
guys head to bed, trusting that the army's sentries will wake you if anything goes wrong, meaning you don't have to keep watch tonight. Dawn does come, seems uneventful. Nothing seems to be reported as you begin to break camp and get things ready. You finish packing up your camp. Will eventually shows back up, having packed his belongings and stowed them. With him, his horse with all of his stuff on it goes, "Are we taking horses or are we walking?"
I think that the horse is going to be a little bit noisy.
All right. If we're going stealthy, I just need to know.
I think stealth is best. What do you guys think?
Wouldn't it take us longer? And we are in a rush.
Well, from this point where we're already at, Gatshadow's only about a day's ride away, so long as we skirt the city.
Yeah.
If we walk, it'll be about a day and a half, but that just means by the time we get there, the attack on Western will be underway.
We can always go and then be more stealthy once we get closer.
Agreed.
So, yay or nay on the horse?
Yay on the horse.
Yay on the horse.
Quickly finishes packing his stuff onto his horse and then mounts up. Just seems to be waiting for you guys.
I can share a horse with someone.
With me, maybe?
Yeah, I think.
Sure.
Yeah. Another way, like
we
the
are
horses.
the smallest.
Well, and then Dothard
And the
needs to
lighter.
share a horse too. I can just take my own horse.
Which reminds me, is he in dragon form right now, or?
I was thinking yes, but he could always shift back.
So he's gonna ride with you in child form?
Yeah.
You want to bring him?
Yeah.
It's really dangerous.
He's my buddy. He helps.
I know, but I mean, it's taking care of him.
Yeah, I know. He knows when to run if he needs to.
Okay.
You guys finish packing up your camp, getting your horses ready and everything. Eventually, Dante and Blaze do ride up as well, having packed all their things for the day. Blaze just kind of looks at you, a bit of a jovial look on his face. So, everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. And here I was hoping that no one else but me would be ready to slaughter the hordes of undead we're about to face.
Yay.
True.
Oh, come on now. This ought to be a fun time.
It will be the highlight of my week.
I would hope so. It's been a pretty boring week.
Agreed.
Well, here goes. I think. Do you guys have any vials with water? So I could just like bless some water, and you can use it like throwing weapons against the undead. Sounds good.
Dante just kind of shakes his head. He's like, "I got nothing." Blaze goes, "Well, I have a." Blaze goes, "Well, I have a water skin, but it's kind of full of not water, so."
Yeah.
Same with the Ori. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if make like not water would be.
I don't. I wasn't aware you could make holy whiskey.
Why not?
You can certainly try.
That's my line, damn it.
I was saying that in character.
I think I'll pass. I like to have my whiskey with a little bit of debauchery and sin.
Pagan whiskey.
Pagan.
It's the best way to have it.
Lod, do you have any vials or containers that you can throw?
Do I? Let me see my character.
You have your inventory, not me.
Yeah, let me see my character sheet. It's just that I still get really lost in this thing.
I'm still trying to learn D&D Beyond.
It's not too complicated, but
It should be under
everything
equipment
gets...
inventory, or if you put it under other possessions.
No.
I have an unidentified item. What the hell was it?
I have nothing attuned.
Odd has exactly one vial, or no, 2 vials apparently. No water, skin. So, I suppose yeah, you do have 2 vials of water.
Right.
Where did you see it?
On your character sheet, if you go under equipment,
Equipment?
inventory,
Equipment is found directly below your armor class.
underneath your armor class.
Oh, vial, container. I have 2. And a water skin.
Look at that.
Okay.
And the ability to make more water.
Let's make some holy water. You know what this reminds me of? Like that portion in From Dusk Till Dawn. Just prepare like a super soaker with holy water.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
So good. And that was Salma Hayek on her prime. But, I mean, Tarantino really has like a serious food fetish.
You think?
It was weird.
I don't find anything wrong with it. It's just like he likes fit. It's like you like asses.
Yeah, but there's a biological reason for the ass. There's no biological reason for the feet.
It's certain people's fetish, so.
Maybe you're attracted to how she can clearly walk without any kind of issue. I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
No, I think it's because the hands, the nose, the ears, and the feet are the biggest receptors of temperature, and and they help us a lot to regulate our temperature. So I think it can be more like for that. It's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive part of the body.
That actually makes a lot of sense, sweetie.
It's more sense whatever the fuck I was trying to say.
We're learning so much.
The more you know.
Knowledge is power.
Okay, let's get this shit show going.
Fetishes.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Me, I have 2 different games that get derailed by the weirdest shit. I don't know.
Fetishes and you.
Well, I mean, our game a couple days ago was like, what the fuck is going on? So.
Okay, that I'm almost certain is Chase deliberately fucking with me. I've told them multiple times that just because you're chaotic good does not mean you have to be actually chaotic.
That's true.
He goes, no, that's how I'm playing him. I'm like, oh god.
You gotta give him props to getting into his character. I mean,
yes,
he does have a list of things he doesn't understand.
Yeah, a list of what, 20
really
things?
Something like that.
It's 10. Thankfully, he wanted it to be 20, and I told him no. No, you are not. You are not throwing some 20 fucking odd items of just.
We got like half of them last time.
Exactly 4. I was keeping track. Because I told him if he revealed all 20, I was never going to get anything done. Anyway, eventually you guys get your packs finished back together. Who is leading this expedition? You kind of have an idea of where to go, but you're still going to have to navigate through woods instead of road.
Oh, that's definitely Ari's department, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, Ari, because none of the 3 NPCs that are joining you have any experience with survival. Lod, are you proficient in survival?
Yes, I am trained.
Wish to help her. You don't have to help her, but if you
I
wish
don't.
I'll help her.
I am not, but I can help her. I have +4.
I'll help. I have a +5.
So you're a natural survivalist?
And the forest is my favorite terrain.
Okay, well, one of you 3, whoever's leading this expedition, may do so with advantage.
Okay.
Neat. I have a +8.
And anyone else who wishes to may make a perception check in your way through the forest.
I will make the perception check.
So you said me make a survival check with advantage.
Yes. God damn it! I used up my good rolls.
Alan, you're really used to being able to spot movement in cities. Trees are different. Trees are not buildings. Where you get really jumpy and there's movement and it's a squirrel, which thankfully Dothrok doesn't see. But you're seeing it's a lot of wildlife, and you eventually start growing a little complacent as far as spotting, because you're like, oh, there's movement over there. Must be a deer or something. You are able. You spend the first half of the day navigating the different forests over on this part of Tal'Dorei, managing to bypass the city itself as the army begins moving. Okay. Arno starts taking a nap randomly, saying he'll catch up.
I would just tie his horse to my horse.
Yeah, he dozes off for a little bit in the saddle, but you guys start making your way through another different part of the forest. This one's a little more open and clear, and that's when you see there are in fact 3 different skeletons spread out. They don't appear to be grouped up tightly, but they're just kind of through the forest a little bit. And unfortunately, you walked within like 50 feet of them because the movement that Felon perceived was not a deer.
Great. Okay. She's gonna take a closer look at one of the ones that she can.
You can very clearly see it as it also notices you and just kind of slowly starts shambling towards you.
I mean, she's gonna shoot at it.
Okay, go ahead and make your shot at the first one.
Whoops, advantage.
Act.
Cack.
11. That misses. First shot. Still trying to get the range just right. It's a little hard with some of the trees messing with your distance. You end up just thunk right into one of them.
Fuck, we are company, guys.
Shambling towards you, has a little short bow in its hands, pulls and fires, which completely misses. Dante and Blaze just kind of look at each other and look at you guys. So, do you want to take care of this, or?
I mean, if you can very quickly, that'd be fine.
I mean, we can always do it quickly. Undead? Yeah,
yeah.
Felon mistook them for a deer, so you guys got way closer than you were expecting.
Yeah.
We're gonna kill Bambi in skeleton form?
No, just 3 skeletons.
Yeah, there's 3 just skeletons slowly shambling towards you. The first one took a shot and missed. Blaze just looks, goes, do it, I'll get up and do it then. And he hops off his horse real quick.
I'll hop off and start heading towards him too.
No need for initiative. We're not doing it. This is going to be out of initiative combat.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to try this. So Blaze runs over, drawing 2. You never really seen swords like these, but they appear to be really thin, single-edged blades, curved slightly. Basically, look like katanas. But as he draws them, they both flicker to life with a blazing black and purple energy around them. He runs up and he makes his first attack on one, managing to leave it right in 2. As he just, with one swipe, manages to cut the skeleton that had shot at you, Ari, into 2 different pieces. Kind of looks back and goes, "It's not that hard."
You're right.
Anyone else? No? Should I just get the other
I'll
two?
hop
Really?
off and
No,
run
no,
towards
of
one
course.
Shoot it.
1 second. Where is it? There you are. Oh,
Fenlon
let's
will
try.
hop off his horse, get in range, and try and shoot one.
All right, go ahead and shoot.
Okay. Sacred Flame, the other one?
That's a fail.
What, me?
Oh, yeah, the skeleton. You Sacred Flame one of them, because there's 2 more. Fails, so what is it, just 4 damage?
Yeah, just 4 damage.
Bones start catching fire a little bit in radiant light. Seems to still be walking, though. That's a hit, Felon. Are you attacking the same one that he just flamed, or...?
No, I'm attacking the other one.
Roll damage. 8. You manage to pierce it and actually knock off one of its arms. It just kind of looks at you. It's a short sword. It's trying to get closer, but has a bit of ways to go. So you probably have enough time to take another shot. Or no, yours has seen what you were trying to do, and it's running towards you a little bit. Blaze, however, intercepts it and goes, no, you don't. 20. Here's bonuses. This is going to be nasty.
Nasty.
And this one as well, managing to... He takes both blades this time and actually cleaves it into 3 instead. At this point, he's kind of showing off a little bit. After clatter apart, he sheathes the blades really quick with the blazing energy disappearing. Just kind of looks at the third one walking towards you. Felon goes...
What?
Yeah, he's walking towards me and goes, then I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the third one's still walking towards you.
Okay,
Oh.
I'll shoot it. Reload and fire.
That's a hit. Managed to finish it off this time. The bolt clattering right into its skull. Bring it and managing to just somehow disassemble the rest of the skeleton.
Right.
Nice.
That was pretty good.
Oh, that wasn't bad. Hopefully they don't learn where we are because of that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't use Toll the Dead. It's pretty loud.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure you're right about it. Blaze hops back into the saddle.
I'll go over and grab at least one of my bolts back, and then head back to my horse.
For the rest of the trip, I'm just gonna be on the lookout of scouts or...
Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to do the same.
Okay. One of you make the next perception check with advantage.
Oh, advantage?
Yeah, just roll one more time.
Yeah, just do another straight roll.
Ooh.
Fuck! Oh, that's a good thing it was with advantage.
Yeah, that
We're-
first roll
we're-
helped.
You see,
so yeah.
20 hates me, dude.
You're keeping an eye out.
You gotta put your good vibe in it.
Start petting your computer.
Handle the power. Go full
Is
He-Man.
that the special touch that I sense in your good berries? Are they just like good berries?
They are happy berries.
She laced them. They're
EM's
good
Guide to
berries
Edibles. Chapter 1. Good berries.
with 2 extra O's.
Anyway. So, Ari or Lod, whichever one of you wants to lead for the second half of this journey.
I'm fine with it still.
Go ahead and make another survival check with advantage if the other person is helping.
Go, Ari, go, Ari, go. I gotta get my pom-poms.
Go, team, go!
21. Managing to skirt a little bit farther away from the city, hoping to try and avoid any more patrols like that. Forno, you do manage to detect one of them. This time a couple of gas sting on the corpses of a couple of farmers nearby. But as you guys get a little bit closer, far enough away that they're not going to detect you, but close enough that you're aware of their presence. Are we going to engage, or should we keep moving?
We're going to keep running into them. I feel like we should just keep going.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, if we kill him, that will
only worry about the ones that are focused on us.
Right. It's probably the smarter move.
Okay. It's a good thing that I had the armor. Like, get stealth.
Not a bad idea.
Definitely wouldn't hurt.
No, actually I did. It doesn't have this advantage on stealth checks.
And that's definitely
There you go. Yeah. It definitely would be. That you're trying to avoid any further groups. No more survival checks or anything. The perception check will stand. Go ahead and make stealth check, everyone.
Okay. Good energies.
Finally. Best stealth check all week.
All of us, right?
I'm rolling Dothrak.
Yep, go ahead and roll one for Dothrak, and there's that.
Oh.
What? That was a check? No.
Woo.
No, that's a 2.
So good.
Damn.
Oh, Dothrak.
Making your way through the forest a little bit.
Squirrels.
Trying to be stealthier, however, Dothrak does see squirrels and gets a little distracted. And there's where throughout the day, as you guys have been riding, Blaze has been sipping out of his whiskey skin. Dothrak tried to go for a squirrel. He laughs kind of loudly. But thankfully, because you guys were rolled higher on survival and managed to a little bit more without losing your way, you do not run into or draw any untoward attention towards you. You manage to not run into any other groups of undead as you continue.
Okay. Good.
Continue going. The looming mountain of Gatshadow is getting closer and closer. By the time night has fallen, it looks like you're probably within 3 hours of it.
Okay.
You are now in a forest, possibly with undead, and it's nighttime.
Okay, so
should we
do?
Do we want to...
We proceed into the city.
They'll be in the city. They'll be in the city tomorrow morning. Gatshadow is about 3 hours away. There's a little village at the base of it, but is that the village has been wiped out. So possibly undead there.
Possibly.
Probably best to make camp as far away as possible. So here we're probably a good spot to make camp and then work our way in the morning.
A bad idea.
In case if we get too close tonight, we get jumped in the middle of the night. More of a chance of Morg jumping us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Well, we'll start setting camp then. And he and Blaze start going about unpacking their stuff. Will just kind of silently acknowledges that this is happening and starts getting his own stuff ready as well.
I conjure up with my forge powers, like some nails for the tent.
Everyone basically has nails and stuff for the tent since it's part of the kit, but extra in case they're needed.
Yeah.
But you managed to set camp and everything. A bad idea to suggest a campfire.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a good thing I'm so accustomed. It's a good thing I'm accustomed to cold tack. And he goes and just pulls out a lumpy biscuit out of his pack and starts loudly munching on it.
Yeah, I also have some trail rations. They're dry, but they do the work.
Yeah.
It's better than
Something like a home-cooked piece.
I have rations somewhere in here.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's dried fruits, some dried meats and like jerky and stuff, and tack. Just had the pleasure of tasting tack. It's super pleasant.
Nope.
I don't know tack.
Oh, it's super pleasant.
What's that?
Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh boy.
Is it like some kind of MRE?
Yeah, let's call it that. It was like the medieval MRE of the day.
Yeah, because mother MREs are like delicious, dude.
Some of them are, not all of them. Here is.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah, it's super tasty. Clearly, since it has such a complex recipe of flour, water, and sometimes salt.
Food that can last 100 years.
It honestly could last 100 years. I don't know if anyone would like survive eating it after 100 years, but you could definitely try.
Doesn't look
also referred to as cabin bread, pilot bread, sea biscuit, soda cracker, sea bread, ship's biscuit, or dog biscuits. Molar breakers, sheet iron, tooth dullers, or worm castles.
Molar breakers. I like it.
Had a lot of names for this. Damn.
Yeah. They sure were popular.
Oh yeah, no, because it was super cheap to make and was technically nutritious. Yeah.
And it could last.
They can make a shit ton of it and just be like, stick it on a ship in a couple months, it'll be in the troops, it'll be fine. What's still sold today is hard bread. And Richmond, Virginia is the one major place in the United States where it's made. This is most, if not all, of the commercially available hardtack in the United States under Sailor Boy.
Yeah, I have never seen it for sale around here. Maybe I just don't go to the right place.
It's sold in the cracker aisle.
Makes sense.
The image that they have is it's right next to Velveeta and Ritz.
I'll have to look and send you guys a picture.
Oh, there you go.
Try some.
Anyway, Blaze is kind of just munching on that. Dante just kind of sits and meditates a little bit, doesn't seem to be eating anything. Will just kind of stands up by a tree and keeps watch.
Yeah, I'd probably be leaning up against a tree and watch too.
Okay, well, he's going to make that with advantage then.
Yep, third watch for me.
Actually try and climb up a tree a little bit and try and get a height advantage.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
Yay, I walked into that one.
Yeah, you did. Fucking rogues, man. It's not graceful by any means, and at one point you think you hear Will snickering a little bit as you almost slip and fall. Dante just kind of sits there and looks around and goes, yeah, what we're up against tomorrow? Other than undead and some giant, powerful sorcerer.
Yeah.
What's the plan for going after him?
Honestly, he is pretty much impervious to everything I did to him. I don't know.
What all did you do to him?
I mean, I shot arrows at him. I cast a couple spells on him, but I didn't have very many left. So he just kind of shrugged them all off, so that was annoying as fuck, but
yeah, that tends to be annoying.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
You seem to take damage from magic.
From what I mean, we didn't have a lot of magic touch him.
I wasn't there at the time, so
I can't really say. I think maybe a spell of mine worked for like a second, but not long enough.
I honestly can't remember.
that bodes well. It's always nice to go into a fight not knowing what we're...
Yeah, I mean,
fight.
Forno hit him hard. That was cool. Yay.
Dark times.
It doesn't sound like it was a lot of fun.
It wasn't at all.
Nope.
He was so powerful that he could almost take us one by one, just one, with one hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
This time that doesn't happen. You've got a little bit of backup after all.
I just couldn't take how he killed his own sister. It was horrible.
Oh.
And then he got right there, and everything was lost. Couldn't do anything for him.
Yeah.
Speaking from some prior knowledge to things like that, trying to kill your own sibling normally isn't that difficult.
Okay.
Well, in my culture, we are just very close to each other, so
I'm a little weirded out now, Dante, not gonna lie.
But there can be only one.
Are you talking about like sharks or people? Because like, the fuck, man.
To kill someone before who might possibly have been related to you.
No.
Well, I guess it's a lot of fun.
Felon's just listening.
Okay. Cool. My brother's cool. I mean, I've never wanted to murder him, so...
Sometimes you don't want to murder people, but sometimes you do. Just saying.
Okay. I'm gonna go to bed now.
That's probably for the best. Who's taking first watch?
Not me.
We'll just kind of looks around.
Me, but I know my roll's gonna be shit, so.
Just kind of looks around and goes, I'll take first watch.
Alright, I'll take second.
Who's taking third?
I'll take third.
After a couple hours, Felon, Will comes by and just kind of shakes you awake and goes, go ahead and make that perception check. You see kind of off in the distance, far enough away that you don't have to deal with them. Skeletons just kind of shamble by. You just keep quiet. Watch as they continue walking by. Don't seem to have noticed you guys. The rest of your watch goes by uneventful.
Once I wake Gary for her watch, I'd at least let her know that I saw some skeletons, but they went by.
Cool.
All right, go ahead and make your perception.
Damn.
5.
I see everything.
During the night, there are 2 different groups. One is made up of a few different zombies, as well as a ghast. Notice you as they continue just kind of going by about 60 feet away. They don't seem to have really noticed you, though. So, making sure that no noise is made in the camp. A About an hour and a half later, though, there is a lone zombie by the opposite side of the camp. In its tracks and just kind of looks over in your general direction.
I hold my breath.
Slowly starts shambling towards you.
I'm going to try to shoot it really quietly.
First, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Alright. That's what I thought.
For stealthy. Go ahead and roll an attack. Go
Why
ahead
do
and roll
I
damage.
keep rolling 14?
That's
What'd
the
you say?
group's number.
Yeah. 14?
Did you say roll damage?
Roll damage. Yeah, it hit. Thunk! The arrow slams right into the chest of the zombie, kind of pushing it back a step, almost tipping it over. It just kind of keeps walking, and this time it's looking directly at you.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to keep shooting it.
Attack.
Did any of that waken anybody?
Come the
Second
fuck
shot
on.
misses. The arrow kind of slams into a tree. However, oh shit, where the hell? You watch as your arrow did miss, and it landed at the feet of the zombie this time. However, shortly after it missed, you watch as this just blade of black energy flies from above your head, slams into the zombie.
She's gonna look and see where the fuck that came from.
And just cut it clean in half.
Heavy sleeper.
Yeah, she's gonna look and see where the fuck that came from.
Watch as Dante's like sitting up. He's still like seated on the ground, but his hand is now up and splayed out. Looks like he was the one that threw that.
Thanks. Okay. Cool. She's gonna have her bow at the ready.
The rest of the watch does go uneventful, though, as Dante eventually goes back to sleep. Anyone that was disturbed by that goes back to sleep as well after Ari just kind of says, you know, it's fine.
Okay.
But you wake at dawn the next morning. Everyone is rested, and if you need to, have now experienced the benefits of a full rest.
Hey. Okay. So, do we know if there's like an underway or like a covert way to approach it? Because like
Well, it's a mountain. You have to go up mountains typically.
Yeah. Or is there like a cave inside the mountain that we could use?
From what you remember, of this, you had to go up a mountain path, up a ways, like around it, and then eventually into a cave. From what you remember seeing, there weren't really any other ways into Gatshadow that you know of.
Shit.
As you kind of ask, Dante and Blaze and Will, three of them don't seem to have any answers for you there.
Yeah, because that path doesn't seem to. Like, if I were Meraxis, I would just be on the lookout on that freaking path.
Well, from what you said, Meraxis is kind of a vain asshole. You might not even think that anyone's dumb enough to go attack him.
That's true.
Blaze immediately chimes in, well, good thing we're dumb enough to go do that.
Yep, good thing, Blaze. Agreed.
Brutos parecidos.
We're fucking idiots.
Speak for yourself.
Sin mente como las Barbies. In English, it doesn't sound so good. It's like without thinking, like the Barbies. See,
it's fair. They don't think.
Well, let's get a move on then.
Okay. Yeah, so let's just try and do it like stealthy, kind of covert.
Yeah, we probably should.
Yep.
Okay.
As you guys slowly approach the village at the base of Gatshadow, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay, not too bad. Not too shabby.
I fade out of existence.
Stealths into a different game.
Or that would mean a ranger and a druid.
Making your way through the forest, Ari and Dothrok having still shaken some of the sleep and weariness out of their eyes and occasionally stepping on a few branches, but the rest of you seem to be doing a pretty good job at keeping everything quiet. And Ari, go ahead and roll one more survival check with advantage just to make sure you can find an easily navigable path.
Come the fuck on.
It's not a 14.
Thankfully, you're really close. So you, at one point, start getting farther away from Gatshadow, and you're like, that can't be right. And you start heading the opposite way. It turns what probably should have been a 3-hour journey into about a 4-hour journey.
Oh, well.
You get to, at least within eyesight of the village at the base of Gatshadow, it's probably about noon. That time is when you start hearing really distant, but still pretty audible combat.
Okay.
It sounds like, based on what you know, because you have pretty high passive perception, Ari, so you're hearing all this, it doesn't sound like it's coming from the village. It sounds like it's coming from farther away, almost like it's coming from Western.
Oh, shit.
Sounds like it started.
Agreed. Probably should get a move on then. Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, as you begin approaching the village, it's not too many buildings. It's mostly, this was kind of meant as like a tourist area, from what you remember. Half operated by the Slayer's Take, but for the most part, it was really just a couple of different huts and stuff offering tours of Gatshadow and everything like that. Before that was shut down. So it's not a massive structure or anything, but at the base of this mountain path that you're about to head up, there are in fact a group of zombies and gas. To be drawn by the noise as well, as most of them start wandering away.
Well,
they start heading
by some time.
Western as well. However, there are still 2 different gas standing at the bottom of the path.
Can we get them silently? They just
hang on.
Felon.
I'll cast Minor Illusion to make a noise, like, away from us.
Okay. Well, they're about 60 feet away from you. Or no, actually, they're farther than that, actually.
Oh, shit, then,
they're 120 feet away from you. That's my bad.
Once we get a little closer, then, like, I'll cast it, like...
Okay.
60 feet from them and us, but 30 feet from them, if that makes any sense. Like, I have a 30-foot...
Okay. Go ahead and roll a deception check.
Cack.
That's right, yeah, I didn't say with advantage. Sure.
Better.
Huh.
Let me, hold on. We'll fix this.
Alright, you don't have a magic weapon, right?
My weapon's magic.
Yeah. Okay. Who needs the weapons magicked? Felon?
I wouldn't mind it.
Okay, I'm gonna...
Crossbow if that works.
How long does that last for now?
Come again?
How long does that last, that ability?
Until I die or my next long rest.
I was gonna say, because you would know that it takes over an hour to get into the caverns. So if it was gonna be something like that, probably not yet.
This is not the spell. This is Blessing of the Forge.
I know. I was just making sure it wasn't like an hour effect or anything like that.
Yep.
What kind of noise are you making to distract them, Ari?
You know, make it sound like there's a creature over there, like rustling and things like that.
You start making some rustling noise, trying to find a good spot for it to be placed, and try and make it look like there might be something hidden. You do manage to attract both of their attention. and they kind of start loping over towards there. One of them hangs back a little bit, still interested, but directed to stay closer to the path.
I'll do it again and make it sound like there's something dying.
The first one gets very energetic and starts running closer. As he approaches and gets to the area, he just kind of looks around.
I'm just like, we should go.
There's still one on the path, by the way.
Okay.
And this gas that has been investigating this noise kind of looks around, doesn't seem to find anything, starts walking back towards it. It's closer to his fellow ghast. Oh, just hell with this. You watch as this big fireball gets conjured up into his hand.
I mean, okay.
Silently.
Oh, that's a fail.
Too late.
Oh, I think I have it. I've never actually used spells on here, so let me see. Okay, very easily incinerates the both of them with a bit of it's less of an explosion noise at this point, and more of just this loud gush of hot air and flame.
Whoa.
Kind of adjust a little bit to the bright light, and eventually the light just fades away, and you look as there are now just two smoking piles of ash.
Good work.
Okay. That's about right. Let's move on. The distraction of Western is not gonna... Come on.
No, it probably won't last forever. Let's keep going now before they start coming back.
Yep.
Let's go.
Guys, start heading up the path. As you do, Ari, because of your passive perception, hear something behind you.
I'm
as
gonna
you
look.
Turn around, staring down the path a little bit, and you're looking at a small horde of undead at the base of the path. Based on your experience trying to estimate numbers and things like that, it's easily over 50.
Okay.
Oh fuck, we gotta go, guys.
Oh, I remember now. And then just pull the rope with the grappling hook at the end. Remember that I made that? Push it up. Clink.
Hold on, what are you trying to grapple?
Is there like a rock or something that will just put us in the upper part, on the upper part of the path instead of the lower?
This path isn't much. It's not much of a zigzag path. It's more of like a curls around the mountain path.
Oh shoot!
Oh, you just have to keep following up the path.
It's cool. We just gotta move.
Blaze eventually, as you guys are trying to figure out what's going on, Blaze just kind of walks to the back of the area, draws both of his swords again, and goes.
I guess. I just pull out.
Dante raises up his hand. Dante raises up his hand real quick and goes, "You guys get going. We'll catch up. All right."
Are you? There's like 50 of them.
Yeah, and you just watch me incinerate 2. Want to see what happens when I incinerate more than 1?
I mean,
just keep going. We'll catch up. It'll be all right.
Tell us the story later, and I start heading up.
Okay.
Agreed.
I start heading up, occasionally checking back and watching as just waves of fire and shadow seem to be flying from Dante's hands in intricate motions. As Blaze seems to almost be winking in and out of existence through the horde. More zombies seem to be coming towards the base there, but they haven't moved farther up the path. Both of their efforts seem to be holding them off pretty effectively.
Okay, good enough.
Will starts, as he's climbing up the path with you, eventually draws his two-handed greatsword and just goes, all right, let's hope there's not a horde up here for us.
Yep. I got great axe or great sword? A great axe, it says here. But in D&D Beyond says sword. Which one is it? I don't remember.
That's a good question. You should... Did you put it in as a sword, or...
Vicious greatsword.
This is rare. This is... Yeah, okay, so it's a vicious greatsword then. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good thing I know how to handle both. Still. This is gonna be a new one for me. I usually do the shield weapon, but I think.
Remember to take off one armor class, one off your armor class. So.
Yeah, where is it? Where's the shield?
Yeah, I think you're now under 20.
Yep. Yay! Aren't you glad?
Yay!
First time all game.
Yay!
You guys it takes about another 30 minutes. You still hear the sounds of combat continuing on, but eventually you make your way up to the cavern entrance that you do remember. A bit of a gaping opening, eventually filing down into a narrow pathway through the mountain itself. Enter. As you get a little bit closer, you do start hearing like a chanting. It's just a soft echo that you're barely able to pick up. It's barely audible, but appears to be echoing off of the chamber walls.
Okay.
Fuck. Looks like he has company.
Someone care to scout?
She looks to the rogue.
Sure, why not?
All right. What are you trying to do?
Stealth and see what I can see around a corner or whatever, wherever we're hearing the chanting from.
Stealth and perception. And poof, he disappears and reappears in Saturday's game.
Holy
and
shit.
anyone else that is trying, or if anyone's joining him or trying to keep stealthy, you'll need a stealth check as well. But
I'll probably try to keep stealthy, but I'm not joining him.
anyone who feels the need to make a stealth check now, go ahead. You start moving ahead very quietly, making your way forward. Very glad that your companions that
Oh my god.
Your companions that don't appear to be taking stealth to heart at all are keeping their distance a little bit behind you through this tunnel.
It's just Ari complaining about it. She's just like, I know they're fucking squirrels.
Dothra's like, playtime, playtime, playtime.
Yeah. he seems to be kind of getting anxious. Just some of the walls and stuff, just really looking at everything, just not sure what he should be doing right now.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for traps, like cords or anything that would set up.
That is what Felon is doing, and in fact, he did manage to find at the entrance of it a large black painted glyph on the floor of this.
Shit.
Managed to stop anyone before they step onto it, but it is pretty large and appears to be encompassing the entire walkway of this path. Either find a way to dispel it or jump over it.
Anybody want to dispel this?
I don't have that ability.
I do.
Always just trigger it and make sure none of us get hurt.
True.
But what if the triggering is like an alarm?
Yeah.
Also that.
Could also.
I'm gonna try to see what kind of trap it is. Oh yes!
Damn.
Oh, I studied that.
You know our next few rolls are gonna suck, right?
Aww.
You do manage to identify what this is. This appears to be some kind of necrotic-powered trap, and anyone who would step onto it would take some kind of either necrotic or poison damage to just cause debilitating pain to whoever triggers it.
Yeah, let's just dispel it.
I'm casting Dispel Magic.
Yeah. Wololo.
Level.
Level. On the spell, I think it's 3. Check. Spells. I prepare the spell and cast it. Bam. Yep.
Level.
3, I think. Yeah.
With just a small fizzle, you watch as the black glyphs seem to light up and then immediately go dead. The glyph itself shrinking actually fades away, indistinguishable from the rock.
Continue on and checking for more traps and getting close to a corner, if there is one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Oh, man. See, I told you.
Fine. You continue going, thinking you've gotten a pretty good handle on how to spot these traps and everything. And that is when you hear a loud pop. Constitution saving throw.
All of us?
Constitution saving throw?
Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
All of us?
Yikes.
Not just me, I'm a little ahead of you guys.
Okay.
See, I told you, that natural 20 ruined me.
9 points of necrotic damage as the second trap, the glyph, shocks you a little bit with black energy, weakening your core a little bit, and you just kind of feel really sluggish and tired and exhausted.
Find another trap, guys.
You alright?
I'll live.
Maybe.
For now.
Me to take the lead?
If you want.
Just kind of walks forward.
Cool.
It's moving forward almost immediately throws his hand up. You watch as he just does it similar to how Forno normally does it with a prayer. Any kind of somatic signs for his spells. Will does a bit of an intricate hand gesture, and eventually a just bit of green energy leaves his hands and zaps into a ground where a third trap had been located.
Huh, didn't know you were... I mean, I guess I kind of knew you were magic-y, but...
Yeah, that's the word for it, magic-y.
Yeah.
Very professional.
Magic. I am a professional.
I can tell.
All my life.
Good. We go.
Yeah, keep going.
You can mute DJ if you want.
Let's continue going through the tunnel, eventually finding the different markers and stuff, indicators of the acid damage that I can't think of his name off the top of my head now. Umbersill had left from when this cavern was eventually his home. You continue going deeper and deeper through this pathway, heading towards where you know the ziggurat to be. The chanting seems to get louder, and as you get a little bit closer, you start realizing it's not actually like, it's more like an echoed chanting. You are able to recognize this based on when you heard it the last time you were in here. It is in fact chanting, but it is chanting that comes through the portals. You had managed to hear it, just a snippet of it at the end as you guys were forced to teleport out of the area. It's much louder and much more audible this time, as if the portal is a lot stronger.
Great. She'll relay that to the party.
But you eventually come to a point you need in this point, but you're based on the noise that you're hearing. It sounds like you have one last bend in this before you're officially in the chamber.
She's just gonna stop and take a few quick breaths and then tell Dothrak that if things get really bad, just to fucking leave.
Without you?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, go home. You know the way home from here.
Okay. But you'll be fine though, right?
Yeah, I'll be good.
Okay.
All good.
Yep. Bill just kind of focuses on his blade a little bit. gets himself ready and goes,
Ready as I'm gonna be. She's gonna take a swig of her drink.
I'm ready to go.
Okay. You guys step around the corner of this pathway, walking into the chamber. The first thing you notice this time is that, Ari, your guess was indeed correct. The portal itself is much larger and seems to be much stronger this time. The beams of purple-black energy that were emitted from the symbols of Vesh, the ziggurat, are much thicker this time around. Appear to be much more. The portal itself is actually firing a beam of energy, which you had noticed to Gatshadow, had been fired out of the tip of Gatshadow, as if this energy is just bypassing the mountain itself, firing into the sky somewhere. On the ziggurat itself, at the base of the ziggurat, immediately facing you are two separate skeletons. There appears to be another two scattered on different parts of the ziggurat. Very top of the ziggurat, where he previously had been standing, is the familiar form of Meraxis Vesh. He doesn't quite have the black swirling aura of energy that had previously surrounded him. He still has a bit of an imposing form and seems to just radiate energy, but the swirling aura that was around him is no longer there. In fact, there is a woman up there with him as well. Thin, looks like, probably about 6'5", very pale skin, appears to be having hair, styled in almost like a noblewoman, very elegantly, but still hanging down to her shoulders. Red silk dress that is just fluffed with white lace and white embroidery. It's a bit of a distance, and that's all the features you can really make out. Now. But you guys walk into the chamber, and Meraxis just kind of turns to look at you, goes, well, for more. That's where we're going to end for the night.
Cool.
Because this is going to be the fight, and it's going to take longer than we have tonight.
I was going to say.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You guys finally managed to make it to the final boss fight, so.
Oh my god. I'm so scared.
It only took a million fucking sessions.
Only.
Only took 3 months.
You know.
Something like that.
That's how long I've been listening.
It's true. You have been listening a while.
Okay, I'll stop the recording here.